Kalimera παιδιά από τον Ναύπλιο. If you're watching this video, it's because you're interested in moving to Greece. Greece is a beautiful country. I've been living in Greece for the last 14 years. I relocated with my family back in 2010. And the reasons why is because I wanted a better quality of life. So I want to share with you here in this short video of all the things that you need in order to move to Greece. Number one, you need to have your visa in order. You need to know what type of visa applies to you. This is by far the most important document in order for you to relocate to Greece. Without the visa, you can just forget about it. Now, I'm going to share here on the screen the different type of visas that might apply to you if you're not an EU citizen or if you don't live in an EU country. Number two, finances. You need to have your finances in order. It's not just about buying an airplane ticket, but you need to research what's the cost of living here in Greece once you arrive. So the cost of living here in Greece is affordable, especially when you compare it to other countries like the States, even England. It's one of the reasons why I relocated from the UK here to Greece in the first place, because the cost of living was much more affordable. And when it comes down to finances, I will even go as far to know what exactly are you going to be spending on a month-to-month basis here in Greece. So you will have to have a source of income of some sort. So this is something that needs a lot of planning and a lot of strategy. And without this, it's going to be, impossible to live in this country if you don't have a source of income once you move here to Greece. So it's not just about having the finances in order, in having everything in place in order to buy a ticket and then just relocate here to Greece. But what happens when you move here? How are you going to be earning a living? How are you going to be paying the bills once you relocate here to Greece? Number three, where are you going to be living? You need a place to live. You need a home. Once you relocate here to Greece, the next question is, where are you going to be living? There are so many different parts of Greece that are beautiful to live, right? So I live in the Peloponnese area of Greece, but Greece is so beautiful. There's so many beautiful places here in Greece that you will need to do some research in advance in order to decide where you want to settle in, where you want to be living here in Greece. And obviously then find what type of home you're looking to either buy or rent. But what type of home are you going to be living in, right? Are you going to be living in a small town? Are you going to be living in Athens? Are you going to be living in a big town? Are you going to be living in a very remote area, in a very rural area? I mean, the options are just endless for you. And yes, the price will depend quite a lot on those factors. Number four, healthcare. A lot of people choose to have private health insurance before arriving here to Greece in order for them to have that cover. I think that's a smart move. And obviously, once you settle in here in Greece, then you can be in the system in order to enjoy the free healthcare here in Greece as well. Now, when I relocated from the UK, I immediately arrived here in Greece and I registered myself, and I had employment. I was in the system. So for me, it was a smooth transition because everything is tied up into this, right? So once you have the visa, once you arrive in Greece and you have work, you have employment, and you start to pay your contributions and you're in the system paying these contributions, then you're going to have access to the healthcare here in Greece, which is, again, free. All right. So for me, it was a smooth transition. But for you, that you're coming from abroad and your situation might be completely different, then going and opting for private health insurance before you arrive here in Greece will be a smart move. It will save you a lot of headaches and it will just give you peace of mind, which is what you want. Okay. Now, there's one thing I want to mention here is even though we have free healthcare, you can also enjoy private healthcare here in Greece. And what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is that a lot of Greeks have access to private doctors, okay? It's not uncommon for Greeks to actually give birth, for example, in a private hospital. Even though they could give birth in the public hospital and it's absolutely free, a lot of Greeks choose to give birth in private hospital and have private doctors. I'm going to do a separate video about this because my wife gave birth here in Greece in a public hospital, and I want to share that with you so you know exactly what the health system is here in Greece, especially when it comes down to the public health system. Now, there are many options for you once you are living here in Greece when it comes down to health. And that is having access to not only to the public health system here in Greece, but as well the private health system, meaning that you have access to private doctors. When I was living in the UK, this was completely out of the question. It was impossible for me and for the average person to live in England and have access to a private doctor. I don't know how is it in other countries, but I'm just talking from my experience when I was living in the UK and what my experience is here in Greece. But healthcare here in Greece is very good. The public health system, even though they're understaffed, they're underfunded, and they lack so many things like the NHS in the UK, for example, it's still a very good health system. Finally, number 5, learn Greek. This is my personal favorite. It will be wise for you to invest a little bit of time before you move to Greece to learn Greek. And if you don't know Greek when you move here, no problem, don't worry about it. You will be learning Greek as soon as you arrive here to Greece because you will be in Greece and this is the language that we speak here. This applies to any country for that matter. And actually these 5 steps or these 5 bullet points that I'm talking about here applies to any country. It just happens that we're focusing here on Greece. All right, but learning Greek is one of my favorite topics because not only I'm passionate about the language, but as someone who speaks 3 languages, I understand the power of moving to another country and speaking the language and the ability to communicate with the people. And if you're not open to learning Greek, you're going to have a much different experience of Greece. And I'm telling you this from experience. When I arrived here in this country, even though I had studied when I was living in the UK, and I thought I knew how to speak Greek, when I arrived here, I realized that I did not know much Greek at all. And if you're learning a second language, I'm sure that has been your experience as well. It's not uncommon for people to study a second language, and then when they go to the country, they realize that they actually don't know much. When I relocated here to Greece, I was like, oh God, I need to learn Greek. And not just the very basic words. I want to make sure that I can communicate with the people. I want to make sure that I can just go out and about and just not depend on my Greek wife in order to make certain basic transactions, even, very basic things. Okay? So I don't want to depend on my wife to always be by my side, translating. But that was just me, I know a lot of expats that live here in Greece and they do not speak Greek. And they're perfectly fine. I got a lot of expats and foreigners dropping in the comment section that they live here in Greece for more than 10 years and they don't speak any Greek at all. And their Greek is very basic, and they have actually expressed that it's not even necessary to speak Greek in order to live in the country. I take that a step further to say that that's a little bit arrogant. Like, I'm just going to move to Greece and not bother about learning Greek. You have to do the effort. You have to put in the effort in order to integrate, which is something that I'm very passionate about here on the channel. It would be very arrogant for me to just live here and say like, well, I can just get by saying Kalimera, and Yasas, and that will be it. And I can just point things with fingers and say, I want this and I want that, right? But you're going to live in your own bubble. You're not going to experience the real Greece, okay? Because in Greece, we speak Greek. If you like what you see here on this video and you would like to learn more about this, then join my waitlist. I'm going to launch my course, How to Move to Greece, very, very soon. Now, you're going to get special bonuses and a special offer once this course is launched, but only if you join the waitlist. This is for a limited time only, and I only have a few spaces in order to offer special bonuses with my How to Move to Greece course. Click the link below so you can join my waitlist so you can be informed when I'm launching my course. Thank you so much for all the love and support, and I'll see you in another video, my friend.